What was I trying to say? 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Java Island here on Animal Crossing, an island put together by Cora and myself. The first thing we're going to show you is our cafe. I have missed going to Stone Creek and sitting in, so I thought, what the heck? I'll make my own outdoor cafe. I wish it wasn't raining. That kind of defeats the purpose of an outdoor cafe. Ooh, over here, this is my favorite part of the island. This is Java Field, again put together by Cora and myself because we are missing baseball. You see, we don't have bats on this island, so we have to use axes. So here's Togo swinging a drive to left field. He's going around first, rounding second, and I'm reliving my childhood dream of being a baseball caller. Togo going home, he's safe. We do this every day because we're sad. I should go, I need to put my axe away because holding an axe in public is frowned upon by the other neighbors. Over here, we have our teaching area, which every Sunday we have lessons, but not just any kind of lessons, not like your typical school. We teach catechisms. That's right. The people here are going to know their proper theology. They're going to know who they belong to. Over here is a rocket. Why? Because you can. Apparently, you can make that easily on Animal Crossing. Over here is our house that we've put together. As you can see, we've been heavily influenced by Chip and Joanna Gaines. There's shiplap, open concept, like good homeowners should have. This is our guest bedroom, so if you ever were like, hey, I want to stay on Java, is there an island for me? Yes, here's our guest bedroom for you, also with lots of shiplap. And over here is my favorite room in the house. This is our bathroom. It's a very nice place, very serene, a great place to just relax. We have your choice of a toilet or a bidet. There's also a whirlpool if you want to hang out in that. Nice little space you can hang out for a couple of hours. And finally, here is Togo's bedroom. That's right, Togo, named after the dog from the recent Disney movie that came out. Great movie, you should see it. This is a double bed because Togo needed more space for his bed, so we made him a double bed. And yeah, this is our home, and this is our island. Thanks for stopping by. One last time, it's Quarantine with Liam. Hey Liam, what did you accomplish this year?
Personal accomplishment of mine is that I made it to state with my solo. I got a 4.5 out of 5 there, so I think that's okay. Also, shout out to all the leaders who've been putting in the time and effort to make these online Fuse videos for us instead of like a regular Fuse night, because it takes a lot of time and effort to edit and shoot and record and everything for these videos. So yeah, thank you for making these videos for us.
Wow, thanks Liam, and great job. And great job to all of you students this year. Way to go. Colossians 3:23, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord and not for mankind. Some of you may know this already, but worshiping God is not just a Sunday morning or evening event. It is a lifestyle that we embrace in all facets of life. That's either really fascinating to you or it might be a little unnerving, maybe a little bit of both. But when we think about the former, people have thought that the best way to honor God is by either becoming a pastor or a missionary, and those are good ways to honor God, but with the gift and skills and abilities you possess, you can honor God in whatever you do, and whatever career path you happen to choose, whether it's a teacher, a doctor, scientist, parent, or a plumber. All of these things you can use to honor God in whatever you're doing, as long as you are using it to serve Him. When we think about the latter, we probably struggle with submitting every aspect of our lives over to the Lord. I think we're good with giving the Lord things we don't want, but what about the things that we do want? Like, I'll give the Lord a good effort in my schooling, but I won't give Him my decisions on who I should date. Or I'll give the Lord kindness to my non-Christian friends, but I won't give Him my anger towards my family or siblings. Or I'll give the Lord certain decisions I consume through TV and music, but there are some songs that are off limit because they are my guilty pleasure. Like back when I was a teen and I really loved Linkin Park. I'll give the Lord certain sins I know are bad, but I won't give Him the bitterness in my heart because I'm entitled to be bitter. And we could give off a number of examples, and I'll admit, throughout my lifetime, I have been pretty good at compartmentalizing my relationship with the Lord in how I use my life. And I still do this, by the way. It's not like I've achieved some level of perfection. But we're on this journey where our faith grows more when we keep trusting areas of our life over to the Lord. Part of growing in our faith and living a lifestyle of working for the Lord is realizing that God wants to give you the best stuff. And sometimes that best stuff means trading something to Him in order to receive something better. One of my favorite books of all time is Love Does by Bob Goff. On this topic, he says, I used to think I needed to sacrifice for God, but now I know faith is like a game of bigger and better. Have you ever played that game before? In this game, everybody starts with something of little value, like a dime, and then everybody heads out into the neighborhood to see what they can trade it for. And so in this chapter, he talked about how his son would knock on people's doors and ask if they'd be willing to trade something for the dime. And then he'd go to the next door, and whatever they traded you, it had to be something of bigger and better value. His son, Rich, was playing this game, and while he started off with a dime, the first thing that he got was a mattress. And then he took that mattress, and imagine now carrying to another house in the neighborhood. He went to another neighbor, and he traded it for a ping pong table. And 5 other things later, he came home with an old Dodge truck. So he started with a dime and he ended up with the Dodge truck. I kind of want to play this game to see what I could come up with, but quarantine life. Here was Bob Goff's quick conclusion in his book. We're playing this game in a real life with our faith. At first, giving something up for God seems like a huge sacrifice as a way to better know Him. But God wants to give us something more. We're trading up when we make this decision in our daily lives to trade those things over to God. When we give Him control and honor Him in what we do, we feel and receive the deep love that God gives to us, which is sustaining and satisfying. So yeah, maybe working for the Lord and not for others or yourself can seem hard, but perhaps you need to see that God is not looking to hold back when He calls you to grow in holiness and trusting in Him. Now, shifting gears, we're in our Colossians chapter 4, and in this last chapter, we're going to change things up a little bit in this last devotional. In your breakout groups, you are going to focus on chapter 4, verses 2 through 6. And what I want you to do in your groups is to wrestle with these 2 main questions. What is God trying to teach you in this text, and what am I going to do about it? As I think about it, pretty soon, hopefully, restrictions are going to be dialed back, and in the coming months, even though we don't know how long, we're going to hope to get back to some semblance of normalcy. However, I can't help but wonder what will be the effects of this unique time of history. The better question, when Paul talks about open doors in the text or opportunities to speak Jesus to others, what will that look like, and who are you asking God to open doors for you to share Jesus with others? You may not have that answer now, but are we willing to pray and see what God has for us as we work for the Lord in all things we do? That's what you guys are going to spend a little time talking about in your breakout groups tonight.